yourself from our premises
Please.
in the next 5 minutes, please.
Because the authorities have been called.
I'm sorry, but this is insane. These dudes called the cops because a group of black women were playing golf too slow?
If you walk into some of these golf clubs and stuff, I can play better than them. But if I walk in there and say hello, they'll just look through me. Do you know what? This not happened once, this happened a few times. They asked me to come and take off my glasses. I said, why? They said, you want to come to my office? There are many others, white Americans walking around with glasses. You don't ask them to take it off today, I'm telling you in 21st century, all right? Mr. Churchill himself, a racist of the worst sort, engineered the Bengal famine, which took the lives of 3.7 million people, and when confronted, has the temerity to say that anyway, Indians will breed like rabbits and make it up.
You touched on a lot of things that are quite pressing for us at Columbia, in the US, in the world at large. I mean, you went around the issue, but I think I'll kind of bring it in. Politics. In America, we're more and more divided than before and quite polarized. For me, this is something that troubles me as someone in this community that has some less than popular opinions sometimes. I'm conscious of how I'm received because of people who are, quote, passionate of these identities that their intellects defend, to use your words. How can I, and others that share, I guess, my desire to bring people together in a divided world, divided community, even a divided street, how can we kind of be individual actors to get people to focus on everything you just said, what we have in common, and not what sets us apart?
See, to find solutions for any problems or any situations, because many people think it's not a problem, all right? So, to address any situation, first of all, we must face the situation as it is. Now you're saying it is getting more and more divided. I don't think so. I think it's always was divided. You may not face it. Well, many of us face it, I face it. Every time I come to the immigration, the way they talk to me, why? Why? Just looking at my face, you should see the way they address me.
Does that make you angry?
No. When somebody acts stupid, why will I get angry? When somebody is exhibiting how small they are, compassion, not anger, pity. If I'm in a bad mood, pity. If I'm in a good mood, compassion. Anger is not the thing because you're just showing how small an egg you are. You're still an egg, you have not hatched, that's all I'm saying. So, you must understand, very deep-rooted divides have always existed in this society. You don't want to face it. You've been glossing over it for a long time. You can't… I'm sure you're not naive enough to believe in just 2.5 years of your celebrity president, suddenly country has become divided? Come on. It always was divided. Now the language has reached the top. Yes or no? It's just that the language is coming to the surface. I think it's better come to the surface than just boil inside forever. At least let everybody face it, this is what we are. Hello? You must face it. I'll tell you, I come to the immigration, I follow all the rules, I have a global entry, all right? I come. After I pass the immigration, because constantly I'm in all kinds of bright lights, so these fluorescent lights kind of irritate me, so I wear my shades. After I've crossed the immigration, when I come to the baggage, do you know what? This not happened once, this happened a few times. They asked me to come and take off my glasses. I said, why? They said, you want to come to my office? I'm saying, what the hell are you trying to enforce on me? There are many others, white Americans walking around with glasses. You don't ask them to take it off today, I'm telling you in 21st century, all right? So you don't believe you are a just and fair society, suddenly because of a new president something has happened. I'm glad he's bringing it to the surface. The leadership is talking that language. Otherwise it's been there, you may not face it. You may not face it because of the color of your skin, many of us are facing it. Yes. If you walk into some of these golf clubs and stuff, I can play better than them, but if I walk in there and say hello, they'll just look through me, all right? So, if somebody is going to be hurt by this, they could be hurt. I'm not that kind. I just see it's their pathetic condition of mind, that they're like that. So it doesn't bother me, but suppose I'm seeking a job or I want to do something else, I'm sure they would make sure that things don't work for me. Yes or no? So this is not a new happening, it's been there. Maybe slowly things are changing, but I think it's good, it's coming to the surface, it's up in your face, you're facing it, you're embarrassed by it, it's a good thing. That is a first step to transformation. Am I saying something wrong?
First step to transformation is now it's out in the world. We see it. It's something, in India also we have divisions at an all-time high. What's now that second step that we can take as individuals going into the society?
To improve it.
See, again you're repeating that. Even in India, it's an all-time high. It's not at an all-time high. It is just people and media is playing it up at a certain level, all right? Unfortunately, in a democratic society, there should be a free press. Unfortunately, all media across the world is owned by some corporation or the other, it is no more free. It is no more free, it is tangled up with money, big time. There are no more dedicated journalists, I'm not saying they're not at all there, largely they're not there, they're all serving a company, all right? Yes or no? Hello? It is time we produce some journalists because media is not just another profession in a democratic society, it is an important pillar of democracy. Yes? Without it, democracy will slowly go away into something else. Because democracy means every 4 years or 5 years, depending on what's the term, a new set of people are going to rule the nation. It could be a complete mess if there is no checks and balances of various kinds. These are all going away because people have taken sides beforehand. Today you know in America, in India also we know now, it was not so some time ago, but these days we know which media belongs to which party, everybody knows. How can it be media? You can't call it media anymore, I'm saying. Yes? Media means what? They will report what is there, they can give a commentary about something, but essentially their business is to throw the facts at us, it's for us to form our opinions about what facts that come to us. But today, don't you already know which media belongs to which party? So, when this is the condition, you'll hear a lot of things, and there is social media, anonymous journalists, those who don't dare to put their name on what they're saying, they are saying all kinds of things. But you walk through the country and see, whether it's India or here, it is just the same as it was. There are problems and there are solutions, both are happening, isn't it? So, if you go off television and switch off your phone and walk on the street, you will see everything is quite fine. Many symbols of racism, religious bigotry of the worst kind still lives on. The discrimination that is in the minds and hearts of people, it's time to end this. It's painful to see that even now, in 21st century, so many incidents of discrimination based on race, religion and caste. And it's also nice to see that today there is a movement across the world inspired by a terrible incident in Minneapolis. Well, these have been happening regularly. Above all, though largely the laws enacted in almost every democratic country has kind of stabilized into an equitable process. Still there are nations where legally there is discrimination, but above all, the discrimination that is in the minds and hearts of people. For this to go, there needs to be a movement not on the street, but in every home, every workplace, and on the street, not necessarily in the form of a protest, but it is needed. And it's really heartening to see, particularly in UK, many symbols of racism of the past, of slave trade, are being pulled down. But still in India, many symbols of racism, religious bigotry of the worst kind still lives on. There are entire towns named after the worst kind of religious tyrants. Aurangzeb, who in his lifetime is estimated to kill, massacre nearly 4 million people just on the basis of religion, imposing taxes on people who belong to a religion which is not theirs. Still, towns are named after them, streets are named after them, statues of British imperialism, which essentially represented a racist attitude towards the Indian people, still lives on. Well, the great British hero, Mr. Churchill himself, a racist of the worst sort, engineered the Bengal famine, which took the lives of 3.7 million people, and when confronted, has the temerity to say that anyway, Indians will breed like rabbits and make it up. Well, such people have been honored and celebrated in the world. It's time we set different standards for the coming generations. All discrimination, prejudice, in the name of color, caste and creed, it's time to end this. Our African-American friends in the United States are asking me, Sadhguru, we need your support. Well, the color of my skin itself is a support, and I've spoken strongly about this. But if you think I must take the knee, well, your clenched fist, if it is not directed against anybody, if it is only against prejudice, it is not against people of certain descent, but against prejudice, against racism, against injustice perpetrated in the name of caste, creed and race, well, I will raise my fist also for you.
Juneteenth, celebrated on June 19th, is a significant holiday in the United States commemorating the end of slavery. The holiday marks the day in 1865 when Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas and announced General Order No. 3, which proclaimed the freedom of enslaved African Americans in Texas. This announcement came more than 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln had issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1, 1863. Historical context. The Emancipation Proclamation issued by President Lincoln during the Civil War is declared that all enslaved people in Confederate held territory were to be set free. However, its enforcement relied heavily on the advance of Union troops, and many areas Confederacy continued to practice slavery until Union forces could assert control. General Order Number 3. On June 19, 1865, General Granger's announcement in Galveston informed the last enslaved African Americans of their freedom, effectively putting the Emancipation Proclamation into full effect across the nation. This day became known as Juneteenth, a blend of June and 19th. Celebrations and traditions. Juneteenth has evolved into a day of celebration and reflection characterized by various traditions. Festivities often include parades, cookouts, and community gatherings. These events emphasize unity and the importance of community. Many celebrations include educational activities such as historical lectures and exhibits that highlight African American history and culture. Music, dance, and artistic performances are central to Juneteenth celebrations, showcasing African American culture and heritage. Traditional foods such as barbecue, soul food, and red drinks symbolizing resilience and ingenuity are commonly enjoyed. Juneteenth holds deep cultural and historical significance for African Americans. It symbolizes freedom, resilience, and the ongoing struggle for civil rights. The holiday also serves as a reminder of the long journey towards equality and the importance of acknowledging and learning from history. Federal recognition. For many years, Juneteenth was celebrated primarily within African American communities, particularly in Texas, where it originated. However, awareness and recognition of the holiday have grown. On June 17, 2021, Juneteenth was officially recognized as a federal holiday in the United States, known as Juneteenth National Independence Day, following the passage of legislation by Congress and its signing into law by President Joe Biden, and ensures its observance across the country. Contemporary relevance. Today, Juneteenth is more than a historical marker. It is a day to reflect on progress made and work still needed to achieve racial equality and justice. It serves as a powerful reminder of the resilience contributions of African Americans to the nation's history and culture. The holiday encourages all Americans to engage in dialogue and action toward creating a more just and inclusive society.